So, you've just finished Squid Game Season 3, and you're thinking,
333 was an ass.
well, I'm gonna prove you wrong! Hi, I'm Eddie C, and I've studied film studies for 2 years. I have seen all over the internet,
TikTok,
comments saying, 333 never cared about the baby. 333 is such a bad person. 333 never cared about Jung Jaeil. Ah! Now, I'm in no way saying that 333 is a good person. I am just saying that he is the most misunderstood character in all of Squid Game. First introductory scenes are vital for how the audience perceives a character.
I'm Gatsby.
And it is important for setting up the journey that the character will go on. There are two main points of interest in 333's character: family and money. In Squid Game, 333 has two introductory scenes, both of which introduces problems with family and his obsession with money. His first scene is the scene that introduces his familial issues. This is the scene after he just played the Dakchi game with a salesman and received the card. Fun fact, the guys who were hired to find this salesman found him during his Dakchi game with 333. Myung Gi then gets a call on his phone from his girlfriend, which he then ghosts. Here, I agree. He is an asshole. Without speaking any words in his first introductory scene, the show has set up Myung Gi to have a relationship that is clearly having problems. His second introductory scene comes from inside the games, and introduces his obsession over money. Here, he shares with us his first line.
You took my phone and my wallet. What the hell's going on?
In his first ever bit of spoken dialogue, he mentions his wallet. Wallet. Money. You get it? He then goes on to say he needs to see how his crypto is doing. The show has now established Myung Gi to be a crypto bro. What do crypto bros literally revolve around? Money. It is revealed Myung Gi promoted a cryptocurrency called Dalmatian, which went on to tank in the stocks market, causing his subscribers to lose 15.2 billion won, which is 8,223,348 in Great British pounds and 11,217,298 in American dollars. This also means that 333 must have also invested in the coin as well, leading him to lose tons of money, which tells the audience that he must be desperate for money. After all, why would he have joined the Squid Game? The guard explains that 333 abandoned his channel and disappeared in order to run away from the repercussions from his audience, which he'll come to face soon, all while having a focus shot on Jung Jaeil, player 222. Jung Jaeil is player 333's girlfriend, and is the girl that he is constantly ghosting and running from, to avoid the repercussions and responsibility that comes with the pregnancy, which you'll come to face soon. This is why the shot lingers on Jung Jaeil during this line. It's the show telling us that Myung Gi has a tendency to run away from situations when they get bad or stressful, such as a surprise pregnancy in a relationship, or a content creator having their audience turn on him due to advice that he gave them. What's next in Myung Gi's journey? Facing the consequences of your actions. Myung Gi abandoned his channel out of fear of backlash from his followers. He felt safe because he was out in the big wide world and there was no way that they could find him. But now that he's joined the games, he's stuck in a big murder trap with a bunch of people who lost their livelihoods due to him. And he has no way out. He can't run this time. Thanos and Namgyu are two characters that were screwed over by MG Coin, and now that it's been announced to the entire cast of players that MG Coin is in the games with them, they now have the chance to take out their revenge. Which is exactly what they do. And they also now finally have the chance to stare at his... This plotline with Thanos all comes to a climax in a bathroom again, where Myung Gi gets his first kill. No, Young Me doesn't count. More on that later. 333 stabbed Thanos in his... stabs Thanos in his digastric site, which is fatal. This removes the ringleader of the gang that was constantly targeting Myung Gi. Now the sheep that followed the ringleader around has no leader, so what does the sheep do? It instantly seeks out an alliance with the person that it sees as the strongest. And what better person to follow than the man that killed your previous leader? The voting. In Season 2, there was a massive change to the way that the games play out, After each game, the players are given the opportunity on whether they would like to leave or continue playing the games. Each time they end up voting to stay though, because otherwise the gimmick of the show would be over. In the first round of voting, Myung Gi votes to stay, which is unsurprising as he sees an opportunity to earn boatloads of money with just a small caveat of potential death. After this round of voting, Myung Gi finds out that Jun Hee is also participating in these games, while also still being pregnant with his child. Man, ever since this guy got into the games, he's had it rough. Which is actually a major theme for Myung Gi, facing the consequences of your actions. In the next round of voting, he votes to leave. This is the beginning of Myung Gi's warm heart starting to show. Hey, even the actor says so.
Myung Gi has a warm heart toward Junhee especially.
There is a massive and violent group threatening people who don't vote to stay, and this is right after money just poured into the bank right in front of his eyes, something that he is clearly shown to be in desperate need of. Despite all of this, Myung Gi wants to leave, just so he can keep Jun Hee and her baby safe. In the second game, players are tasked to divide into groups of 5. Myung Gi, knowing that Jun Hee is pregnant and therefore is at a disadvantage, goes straight to her first, offering to team up with her. Myung Gi clearly cares for her. He's willing to risk his life to help her through the games. He even apologizes for ghosting her, which evidently won't make up for the damage done, but he is trying to heal the relationship. And now, it's time for Mingle. Myung Gi saved them. Young Mi would have never made it. Young Mi gets pushed with 8 seconds remaining. We can assume that she hit the floor with 7 seconds remaining. We see that she finally gets up off of the ground with 3 seconds remaining. In the final 2 seconds, Myung Gi pushes Hyunju out of the way and closes the door. Throughout these 2 seconds, Young Mi is nowhere in frame. She is still far away from the door, so if Myung Gi never went in the door, Young Mi, Myung Gi, and all of the people in the room would have been killed. Jun Hee and Daeho literally agree with Myung Gi that there wasn't enough time for Young Mi to make it. Like, Jun Hee, the woman that is mega pissed at that man, agreed with him. Myung Gi never cared about Jun Hee! This man instantly grabbed her hand and ran to a door with her as soon as the game only allowed for 2 people. At this point, Jun Hee begins to actually trust Myung Gi, as she warns him to hide when the lights go out, to avoid him getting hurt. This is the beginning of Jun Hee's arc of opening up to Myung Gi, which doesn't last long. Gi-hun asks the players for people to join the resistance, and 333 looks at 222, almost as if asking for permission, but 222 shakes her head. What's going on through 222's mind now is that she could possibly have the child with 333 as a present father, now that she's seen what he's capable of in the previous game. Myung Gi has a clear goal of wanting to rekindle his relationship with Jun Hee. His character journey through Season 2 was taking accountability for his actions. He took accountability for one of the main 2 themes of his character: his relationship. That leaves us with just one unresolved theme to lead us into Squid Game Season 3. Money. The first game of Season 3 is Hide and Seek, and what is, in my opinion, the best game out of Season 3. The players are divided into hunters and hiders. The hunters have knives and have to kill another player to survive, while the hiders have keys and have to find the exit or survive until the time runs out. Myung Gi is initially assigned hider, and asked to switch with Jun Hee as he thinks they both have a better chance with opposite roles, and he offers to find and protect her after he kills someone. Jun Hee initially rejects him, and then Myung Gi says the line that I believe shows his true character that has been so overlooked.
네가 나를 죽여.
I truly believe that 333 would have let 222 kill him in this scenario. Myung Gi is willing to sacrifice his life so that Jun Hee and their baby can live on. At the last minute, Jun Hee switches teams with him. Namgyu and Myung Gi team up. This is the catalyst that brings 333's obsession with money back into the plot. By the way, this team up was so threatening. Could you imagine this running at you? Namgyu offers up the idea that they should kill more than just one hider each, so that they can end up with a larger share of the money, which reignites Myung Gi's obsession with money. So of course, he agrees. One of the hiders that they kill mentioned that he has a wife and kids. This prompts 333 to have a reaction, as this is a situation that he wants to be in after the game's finished. Online, people are saying that 333 deciding to kill more people is a betrayal of Jun Hee, as he promised to come find her. And I say to them, he did look for her, and he did in fact find her, and even in a way, did kind of protect her. Nam Gyu is a character that is shown throughout this game that he has a freakish delight in killing people. He is a dangerous man and unpredictable. When Myung Gi does find Jun Hee, he prevents Nam Gyu from entering because he knows that he would kill her, and probably the baby too. There was nothing else that he could do apart from lure him away from her. Yeah, maybe he could have killed him, but that would have been very risky as Nam Gyu is a competent killer, and Myung Gi's reaction to death by his own hands shows how much worse at killing he is. Even Nam Gyu, a sadistic man with no morals, can tell that 333 loves Jun Hee. Then there's 120. I have no defense for Myung Gi killing more than one people in hide and seek. Murder is immoral and selfish. But Myung Gi was doing it for a good cause. He wanted more money to pay off his and Jun Hee's debts and be able to buy a house and raise their baby together. But seeing 333 kill 120 completely ruined the built-up trust that they had been developing for an entire season. It's time for the next game! And it's Jump Rope! Now you may be saying, Eddie, if he cares so much for her, why didn't he carry her across? She literally told him to go away and refused his help. I'm pretty sure it'd be pretty hard to carry a resisting, injured woman over a thin beam while jumping over a rope. And then it happens. We see 333 break down crying at Jun Hee's death, and will go on an emotional spiral from here. And it's on to the final game, the climax of 333's entire character. In the first round, 333 kills Min-soo, which, while it isn't ideal, was necessary. It was clear that 333 had a plan in mind for this round. He managed to hold off the group from killing the baby by killing what appeared to them as a drug addict that was an easy kill. Myung Gi's greed with money is his hamartia. A hamartia is a hero's fatal flaw that will eventually lead to their tragic end. Romeo's rashness, Walter White's hubris, Gatsby's obsession with the past are all examples of hamartia. 333's desperation for money leads him to kill 100 when it was unneeded, just so we can get a larger share. He does this still thinking that the lunchbox is alive, but obviously, if 333 hadn't killed 100, he, Gi-hun, and his baby would have walked out alive, but his greed overtook his rationality. In the third round, 333 is clearly breaking down. He constantly makes irrational decisions, and he comes to some insane conclusions, because these games have mentally broke him down over time, and now he is going through a proper mental breakdown. But I do believe that he has one clear goal in mind: kill Gi-hun and win with his baby. The final fight between Gi-hun and Myung Gi breaks out, and Myung Gi threatens to drop the baby. He's not gonna do it. I would like to applaud Im Si-won's acting in this scene. It is incredible. With his words saying that he would kill the baby, his face is telling another story. As he mentions letting go, he fully cries at the thought of it. He is full on ugly crying. This is one last desperate attempt to trick Gi-hun. Gi-hun buys the act. They scuffle a bit more until both end up hanging off the edge, where Myung Gi falls to his death. I feel like they could have done a better death for 333. Like, this is the Hollywood stereotype. Ooh, two people are hanging off a cliff and only have one hand free. Like, come on! Squid Game is a show about when humanity is pushed to its limits. It explores all different aspects of humans, how they can be greedy, selfish, immoral, while also being kind, warm-hearted, and caring. The main message of the show is Gi-hun fighting for his belief in humans, which he proves with his big sacrifice speech.
사람은
Myung Gi is one of the most well-written characters on the show. He starts off running from his problems and learns to face them and take accountability for his actions throughout season 2, building up the trust between him and 222 again, just for his greed to blind him and ruin things again and again. Myung Gi wanted to be a husband and father when he left the games, but in these games, where everyone is pushed to their limits, he lost Jun Hee, witnessed countless deaths, and began to spiral. Thank you so much for watching to the end. As a small channel, I really appreciate it. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of me breaking down different bits of media. I really enjoyed making this, and I want to know if you want to see more. Maybe even some theories. Anyway, if you don't mind, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I told my teacher that I'd make it big and that I'd become famous, so... Bye-bye!